Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to this talk. Yeah, today I want uh, to explain about the data science in water utility industry. The water industry is very unique and very different from any other industries, and also it's very important. So the data science has be different in this industry than any other industries. So in this talk, I want to explain what is a difference in water utility industry and how we can apply the data science in the special and also unique problems of the business. Okay, let's get started. Yeah, before we start, like why the water is important? I think any people in this world can answer this question. It's not like the rocket science question. It's anyone, even the kids can actually answer this one. The water, the human body is made of the water. About 60% of human body is the water, and also the water transfer all the nutrient and elements to in our body so that we can survive. And also the water maintain the temperature in our body like in certain range. It doesn't go too high, it doesn't go too low because of the water in our body. So people often say that the water is the origin and source of the lives. So without water, no living being can actually survive. So to measure or to discover if there's a living being in different planet, the NASA is always looking for the water. So far, I mean the previously the couldn't find any other planet which has water, but recently, like NASA finally found that the water vapor surrounding the super Neptune planet, which make the people expect there will be some living being in the planet. So this is a big discovery, one of the biggest discoveries in the world at this time. So water is the source of the living being. So utility industries, there are three categories of the utility industries: water, gas, and electricity. These are very important for individual houses. So without this, it's very hard to survive. Alright. So this is so it has to be supplied stably and also safely to all the individual houses. So, but this is a very important. So, if the companies actually compete each other, then it might not be going. These kind of things might not be going to the individuals stably. Sometimes disconnected. They want to make more money, so they raise all the bills a lot. Then people can actually buy. That is not good for the individuals, right? For company it doesn't matter. But because it's important for everyone and everyone need it, the government actually try to control, also regulate it, so that the supply go to safely and also stably. So yeah, those three are all important, but in my opinion, the water is most important because without water, no one can actually live. Even 7 days, people cannot live without water. But the gas or electricity, people still live without them but it's a little bit very inconvenient that to make any energy or fire or like or the light. Yeah, it's very inconvenient, but it's nothing to do with their lives, right? So so yeah, the water is more crucial for us, to maintaining our lives. So the areas in water industry is very broad. Yeah, you need to understand many areas of the science to deal with the water industry. So first of all, the hydrology. The water is coming from the sky, from the cloud. It's coming down as rain or snow, and they won't actually becoming a lake or river, and we can actually use the water from there, and then also we are actually drinking the water, so the water has to be really clean. So environmental science is big part of the water industry. So we need to monitor how clean the water are, and if it's dirty, we have to make it clean. All right, so that people can drink the clean water. And chemistry, yeah, the water including a lot of the chemicals inside. So we need to actually need to monitor them. What chemicals are actually in the water, how much and how concentrated, and what is good, what chemical is good, what chemical is not good, and how to filter them. We need to actually understand those all stuff. So chemistry is a big part of this industry as well, and also climatology. This is important because the southern, especially the California, the drought problem. Water is going dry. It doesn't come as much as before. The reason is that the climate is changing. So we need to actually monitor and also to follow what's going on with the climate. Yeah, that is also big part of the water industry. So water industry actually deal with many the CO2 emissions. So the CO2 emissions actually, the water industry using a lot of pump to draw the waters from the the northern California to southern California. Most of the water is source in northern California, and so we need to draw that to down to the southern California, where the most of the demand is. Yeah, so the pump using a lot of the energy, and then it's actually emitting a lot of the CO2 emissions. So yeah, basically all the climate issues, the water company actually deal with them too. And also geophysics, the water is going down to underground, and it's flowing underground. Yeah, so we need to actually understand geophysics as well, the rocks and how the groundwater happening, where it's flowing to. So everything has to be understood. Yeah, so the regulated water utility company. So Golden State Water Company, where I'm working for, is a regulated water company. Yeah, I explained that earlier. The reason why it's regulated is try to secure the water for everyone. Yeah, that's the biggest reason why this company is regulated. And then also there are special expertise in this company in many different areas. So you have to be protected so that they can actually do their work right. And also by doing so, we can reduce all the unnecessary work or the competitions so that you can actually improve the local economy, saving the money. And also this is actually very related to the environment as well. So for environment, the government has to be involved. And also the safety and security for the water, right? For everyone. Yeah, and then there are more regulatory oversight in many ways. Yeah, so those are the reason why the water utility companies are regulated. Yeah, so I mentioned a little bit earlier the drought, the problems that we are facing in water industry is drought. So for drought, we need to actually, I was actually working on the drought forecasting. So when drought will become, based on those time series data, and we have so I built a forecasting model to forecast when it's going to dry, when it will be more rain. So rainfall forecasting, runoff forecasting, those stuff. Yes, and then also water depth forecasting. So there are many stuff there. And flushing forecasting. So the water industry, in certain area, we're doing the flushing. Flushing means we're making the water pressure very high in the pipe, and then we clean up the dust or the clog in the pipeline, the dirty stuff, push them with the high pressure of the water and then get rid of it. So the flushing operation is happening once in a while whenever the water quality is not really good. But by forecasting when to flush, we can save a lot of the water and also energy and money, right? So in this industry, and also I'm actually building the model to forecast the when to flush. And another part that I'm working on is a filter lifespan forecasting. We check we actually forecast the pressure of the filter, differential pressure, and this is way too big, then it's time to replace the filter. So we have a print of data in our data warehouse, and also many different areas. So I'm using those data to build the models. And also water leak detection is a big part of the water supply. We are actually leaking the water. That means we are leaking the money. So we need to detect the water leak as soon as possible before it's getting too big. So the model can actually detect the water leak based on the pressure SCADA data actually. So this I'm actually also working on. And also water demand forecasting. So we have a customers and the model actually forecasting how much water they will use every month, every day. It's forecasting, so we know that how much water they will actually consume. So the water supply in our area is not enough, then we have to purchase the water from different water companies to make more water available. So it's very important that it has to be right amount of the water. Otherwise we are spending too much money or too little money. And then for water company is we have to get the budget from the investors every 3 years. The money has to be right amount. Otherwise, we spend too much money, then it's not enough money we have. And it's too little money we spend, then the investors next GRC they don't want to invest as much as they did before. So it's very important that we have to spend the right amount of the money. So then for the region, it's very important that the forecasting water demand accurately is crucial. So by now, the water company is actually working on that based on their experience. Also, recent data, recent consumption, but those are not accurate, right? So the machine learning model can actually help that more accurately. So I'm working on that. And also automation. There are many manual processes in water company, and so the history of water company is very, very long. So the automation, most of the work is very paperwork, it's very manual. People spending a lot of time in manual process. So I'm working on some automations as well, using the model and machine learning and deep learning and artificial intelligence. By automating those processes, we can actually save a lot of the time for people from the manual process, and they can actually do something more productive things. So it can actually increase the efficiency of the water company. So what data is available in water utility company? SCADA data is available. So SCADA data is actually the pump data, like some the pressure, temperature, or other operation data. Those are all recorded in somewhere in system. But those we have many different districts. So we actually we have a SCADA data the department. They are working on the centralized data in one area. It's a big part. The data is very spread out in every devices and the servers. So they have to parse it out one by one, everything, and then through the network they are sending to the centralized area. So currently they are using server, but eventually we have to go to the cloud and put it into together so that we can do a lot of stuff in the cloud as well. It's a big data, and also it's a real-time data, so it's very useful for many part of the businesses in water company. And we have a customer data. We have many customers throughout the entire California, and we have their data. So whenever they pay the bill, it's all recorded coming to our data warehouse, and their information, the customer information, their address, home address, and who they are, what's their name, the specific information is all in our data warehouse. And also the water production data. So how much water was supplied, how much water was actually depth. Also the which well was actually closed and which well is actually open. There are many different water production data. It's all in our data warehouse. The water quality data, we have a different database that is treating only water quality data. So water quality data, what kind of chemicals actually they have the area have. So they sample like each sampling point, and then we record it. We actually test it in the lab, and we recorded the data every time we sample. So the water quality data is also pretty huge. In GIS data, we have a GIS team, and we have like all the location data, so there, and also streamline data, which is not in our data warehouse but in government database. Many government database are open to public, and then we actually using those data for our project, such as drought project. We need to know the each rivers, the depth change, and also water runoff, water flow, how fast, how big portion of the water is actually in the river. Those stuff is all in the government databases. So streamline data is available, and also runoff and rainfall, temperature, pressure data is all available in government data as well. So government data, government here is actually APA, so Environmental Protection Agency, and USGS, and also NOAA. Those they have their separate databases, so it's all accessible from us. So we are using that. So as a conclusion, water utilities have a lot of data available. So it's a data-rich industry. However, getting value out of the data is very important, right? So using the data, and then we can do something. We can actually, from there we can save a lot of money, and also drive the more efficiency in optimizing the processes from the manual process. So applying the data science and AI in water industry is very important because there are many unsolved problems in water industry. So those complex problems can be solved with the data science. That is what I'm doing right now. However, there's a drawback in this industry because many people work here many years, very long time, and they have done that every time same way. They have their know-how, but those are very traditional way, and they don't want to accept the new technology or new way, new method. They don't want to change their know-how. That make the working as a data scientist difficult. So it's getting better. The people are start to opening, but still long way to go. But we are slowly moving, so which is good, and I'm actually getting working more and more area. So so the future will be much better, and we will be digitalized, and everything will be the automated in this area. So in the future, so far I was covering how the water industry is different from the other industries, and what kind of data is actually available in this area, and also what business problems we are trying to solve. And also the uniqueness of the water industry, yeah, so how the data science should be applied differently from any other industries. Thank you very much for your time, and yeah, so let me know if you have any questions by email here, and this is my contact. Thank you very much, and it was a great opportunity for me to appear our industry to other people. Yeah, yeah, this area is special, and also I have expertise. Yes, so yeah, the water is important, right? So please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you very much, and have a good day. Bye.